Night ride on the tread.
Good evening. Good evening. You have now entered the Kandid Room with your host, Miss Maggie T. Just kind of give everybody an opportunity to kind of get up in here because, yes, it's been a while since this channel has gone live. And as you can kind of see, come on, stop on in, get your glass of champagne, sit on down, kick your feet up. It's going to be an interesting ride tonight. So, with that being said, if you are here, go ahead and show some love and say, hey, we just want to introduce you. Hey, Miss Asia Green, how are you doing? First one, first come, first serve. You get the best seat in the house, definitely. We appreciate having you. And as people don't know, like I said, this is Kandid Room, and it used to be formerly known as Champagne Confessions. So, yes, it's the same channel, it's the same everything, but decided to brand and mix it up a little bit as a solo show. As you know, we used to have co-hosts and things like that, but now it's like, you know what? You got to get on track and do it on your own here. And it's something that I was nervous to do for quite some time because it's like I like to have people that I can bounce off of, but I can do that with special guests. And of course, he needs no introduction, though. I mean, some people do know who he is, and I'm excited to have him with me. Let's go ahead and go in here and just introduce you. Let's go ahead and tell everybody who you are.
What's going on, everyone? It is nice to be here. Shout out to you, Maggie T, for allowing me to be a guest, but not a guest
Not
on
a
your show
uh,
to the introduction of this, which I absolutely love. But what's going on, Maggie T fans? My real name is Aaron Arthur Rose, but I go by Cosmic Shaman Messenger, but we shorten it up to Cosmic. Little bit about me. I've been on platform to platform. I've been on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. My last place I got off was on TikTok. And I had to leave that platform behind only because it was getting a little bit too overwhelming for me. And I said, I got to take a break. But within taking that break, Maggie came up to me and said, hey, let's do it again, but on a different vibe tip. So now we are here. So I'm loving it. I love the idea of what we're doing. I mostly focus on a lot of spiritual health and well-being and also physical, but more so mental, spiritual, and physical at the same time. So whether it comes down to metaphysical information, chakras, zodiac signs, while people are focusing on the physical, I deal with the internal of spiritual. So most people don't know Maggie T and I, we go way back, like super, super way
super
back.
way back. We ain't gonna say how far back, but
Yeah, yeah. But let's just say she and I have been, she's one of the longest standing friends that I still keep in contact with. She's been such a support system to me, and I absolutely love her for it. So thank you for allowing me to be here, Maggie.
all right, I'm excited for you to be here as well. As we did this before, under a different name, and I think it was a different time in our lives, and we can get
Hmm.
into that a little bit about what the main topic. It kind of goes into that just a little bit, but yes, high school friends. On down the way, we kind of lost contact, gained contact, talked for a moment. It was exciting, yay, yay, friend, let's catch up. Then we life just started lifing, and of course phone numbers change, place of where you're living is changing, all of the above. But for some reason something said email Maggie, reach out to her and see what she's up to, and here we are again. So,
Hmm.
and that's one thing about us too. It's like we can lose contact, but we always know that there is either something's going on, but we're in the process of building back up, or wherever the journey is taking us. We always find our way back to each other and have stories to tell. So it's like it's not even a whew, it's like we got to catch up. Let's sit down and set aside a time to do so
Yeah, we
because
really do. And that's what I love about what we do is it's like we both are Gemini, so it's that twin energy. So
Mhm.
it's like no matter how far you go, that connection will never be severed. And we've gone through quite a lot of ups and downs, but it was always everything we pick right back up like we never even missed a little beat, and it's always on point. So that's why I love and value. If anybody wonders who I trust more than anybody out of a lot of people, Maggie T is one of them. Maggie T is the number one. If Maggie T says so, then you can trust it.
Oh yeah, and I'm over here making sure everybody on TikTok can find us as well because you will X, not TikTok, excuse me, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it,
Right, the name changes.
the main pages, so you know that we are here. And I appreciate everybody that is here. Anybody else in the chat? Let's go ahead and say hello to them if you are. Go ahead and type. Don't be afraid. This is new. I know y'all excited about this, but we're gonna be doing this every Monday around this time each and every week as much as we can help it. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into a little bit. I always kind of start my show off with some motivation, kind of get people thinking just a little bit. And what I like about this is, hold on. Oh, look at that. Sorry. I want to start and want to pull up the video. My bad. So with that, a little bit of motivational quote, and it's kind of going to go into what we are talking about today. So let's go ahead into the candid motivational moment. And it's actually a picture I'm going to put up here that's gonna I'm gonna read so you guys can see it. It says, I protect my energy with intention and grace. I release what drains me and welcome only what fuels my peace, power, and purpose. I'll let you guys kind of ponder on that just a little bit. Take it on in because it's going to really go into what we're talking about today. And Cosmic, tell me how, with that quote, how does that means to you the most?
I'm glad you actually have that, because what I was going to do was I was going to give people a deeper understanding about this quote and why quotes are more than just words. So I actually want to read it myself because it's so great. I'll read it again. I protect my energy with intent and grace. I release what drains me and welcome only what fuels my peace, power, and purpose. This is such a beautiful quote because it's talking about protection, which we all need, with your energy and your giving intent, and also the releasal of what it is and fuel. Most people who don't know this, and this is why I love telling everybody, these are not just quotes, they're not just words. Sound and vibrations and frequencies as we speak carries. So when you're saying stuff, I want people to know intentions are literally like having on a bulletproof vest when you go through the world, or having protection. When you're saying it, it puts a real serious protection, just like how people pray and they
Mhm.
go out into the world.
Yeah.
It's the exact same thing. So being able to say these types of things before you go out and wherever you are really does hold a lot of power. So I really do love that you put that in there.
Oh yeah, thank you. And it's just I always want to start off my show with some affirmations, and it might not necessarily pertain to what our topic is today, because sometimes things might happen, and I was like, you know what, I need a quote for that day. Because one thing about this show here at Candid Room, um, it's raw, it's real, it's we're living these lives as best we can. So it's not a textbook, encyclopedia about how to get through it, when to get through it, and then we're not going through it ourselves.
Hmm.
So whenever something that just hits me and connects to me that I want to give out to everybody to kind of give them some motivation, is what it's going to be. So today, particularly, it's perfect to start off the very first episode of Candid Room um, about protecting your energy, because I'm gonna go into my story about what was happening and why all this change had to come in and about. It's gonna go into protecting my energy, definitely. So I kind of want to go right into what we're talking about today. And if you guys are here, say hello, hello, hello. And I'm glad you guys are here. And make sure you share this out so you won't miss anything. So, with that, let's go into our first topic of the day. And that is, well, get into basically protecting your energy. Ain't supposed to be sitting at your table. And with that being said, that can be anybody and everything, anybody that's in your life. Let it be in your coworkers, your family, your significant other, your children, especially when they go into adult years and they lead a life of a different lifestyle and they get disrespectful. Sometimes even them, where you have to kind of protect your peace and energy from when, especially with me, I'm going through my own healing journey. And your journey never ends. It never just, I got it, I'm good. Every day it's something new where you have to protect yourself. And your energy can fluctuate and go up and down, good energy, bad energy, drain energy. But with that being said, a lot of this has to do with the people that you're surrounding yourself with as well, or what you're accessing yourself to as far as these social media platforms. You can pick up a lot of people's energy, especially in the field that we go into where we coach people, guide
Mhm.
people, and things like that. You take on a lot of their energy within when you're trying to help other people. And I've always been a people pleaser, but I had to learn from that and say, you know what? This is too much for me. Um, I'm drained after helping this person, and I don't even feel like getting up sometimes because now I got to recover from all of that, and it puts me in a bad place sometimes. And go ahead, what do you feel about that? Everybody's kind of supposed to be sitting at your table. What does it say to you?
I totally agree with you. Not everybody's supposed to be at your table,
Mhm,
especially those closest to you with your family.
mhm,
Because first of all, we gotta, like we said, most people need to recognize we all do hold energy, and not all of us hold the right amount of energy. And in life, we it's almost like this unwritten rule where because they're your family, you have to tolerate them.
mhm.
And unfortunately, a lot of us forget that family members are still just other people. They could not like you and want to sabotage you simply because of what they're going through.
Absolutely.
And that can be a problem, even when it comes down to your closest friends. So I used to be just like you, people pleasing, because I knew you, because you're my best friend, because you're family, and we've had this long track record
Mhm.
together. It's almost like people would always say, well, you've known this person for so long. And I'm just like, but people change. And I've seen it so many different times. And I see it as if I'm going in a direction and your energy doesn't match mine anymore, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to keep you around, because if you're an anchor in the direction I want to go to, sometimes it's best that we actually split,
Yeah,
because in life, people are always changing. And when you don't take the time to speak up and be honest about how you feel, then that person can really stop you from becoming great. So, yes, I agree with you. Not everybody's supposed to be at your table. That's rule number one. You got to take care of self first.
absolutely. So that's what I mean. And he explained it so beautifully. It's just, and and we get to this point where it's like it's people we're familiar with. We don't want to disappoint them. We're doing it because we just feel sorry for them. It could be a lot of reasons, but the end of that train has to stop at some
Hmm.
point. Because to me, when you're doing it like that, when you're holding on to people that you shouldn't be holding on to, that don't take your advice, they're not listening to you. It's always something going on when they're sitting at your table. You come in on this, let's do it, attitude. I'm ready. I'm positive. I'm going and I'm draining. Well, today is not the day for me, friend. And and then it's like you just kind of dampened my mood. I love you, but
Yeah.
must we do this right now? There is a time and a place for certain things as well, especially when these people aren't learning from you.
Yes.
Um, it's you're giving this free advice to somebody that's not taking it, and that's you're doing too much at that point. And I feel so. With that, let me get into. I wanted to give you some key points. Where is my? I was trying to get into the Okay, we're just gonna go with the flow. All right. So with that being said, let's go right into the next portion of this. It's going to start off talking about this energy. Um, Energy is expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
what do people mean by that? Like energy? Energy. Whether you have a lot of it or not, you know, a little bit of it, it makes a huge difference in your day to day. All the things that you put into yourself each and every day, if you're dragging by the skin of your teeth, you're not resting at night, you're not resetting yourself, everything that's boggling your mind is just kind of like you're all over the place and you're pretty much floating, you're barely there. And then somebody comes up to you with wonderful energy. Hey friend, how are you? It can startle you sometimes. It's like, whoa, where, where are you coming from with all of this? I need time to get myself together. Give me a moment. It's too much because you got those people with all that. They come in with positive affirmation. They got their coffee ready. They don't did they, shadow work. They don't did everything for themselves. So they're coming in just bubbly and cheerful. You guys notice a difference, especially if you've been in like a corporate office. You
Mm-hmm.
got those people that truly love their job and truly want to be here, and you can tell by their energy. It's just like, woo. But what happens is that energy feeds off on the other person that's accepting of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some people can block it. It's like, I don't care. That's too positive for me. I'm negative and I'm always angry. And then it's that power in tongue too that comes with it when it's like, I'm not having a good day. And so guess what? You're gonna probably have that cloud around your head for quite some time. But energy is expensive. I know you had something to add to that. Tell me a little bit about how you feel about that quote.
Yeah, energy is expensive. You know how long it took me? I used to hear whenever I was dealing with money, I would hear "you are the money." And I would always wonder, like, what does that even mean? Because physically, I'm flesh and bone, but money is supposed to be $1 bills and things. So I finally actually got it. And I like to relate my life to I'm an investment. I tell people if you look at yourself as an investment, you don't share your energy with everybody. And I'll give you an idea. Let's say as you wake up, you start off your day. Let's say you got $1 million. Your energy is $1 million. Soon as you get up, and let's say you pull out your phone, your energy going into that social media, let's say you spending $1,000 a minute. So that $1 million is now starting to trickle down
Right.
because in social media, it is a give and a take.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get up and let's say you go to work, that's about half your paycheck gone. And I'm talking about your energy paycheck because your
Mm-hmm.
job, you got to deal with everybody else. You got to deal with the noise, the energy, the traffic jams. So that $1 million automatically, sometimes it's even more than half. So now you're down to 500,000 or maybe even less.
Mm-hmm.
Then after you get off of work, you got to go through traffic. That's more money taken away from your energy. You get home. If you got a spouse or kids that are draining you, if you got to
Oh,
cook, you got to
yeah.
clean, at the end of the day, all that money that you expense towards everybody else, sometimes you left with nothing but ten
Nothing for
thousand
your own
dollars
self.
left, or not at all. And then when it's time for you to use your energy, you don't have anything left. And if you go to bed and then wake up, let's say you don't wake up with that million every time, but you only wake up with a few because you didn't get a night's sleep. So energy is expensive where when you look at it in a sense of that way, it helps you to really see, am I saving enough where I'm able to do what I need to, or am I giving it away too much? And I used to be the person where, I ain't gonna lie, I would talk to people, 6 people a week, and I would wonder why nothing was getting done for me, but they were getting things
They
done.
was getting their things
I was
accomplished.
paying them. Yeah, I had that billionaire energy of, again, helping people. Hey, you should do this. Hey, you're great. Hey, I'm always giving people so much of great energy and mindset positivity that, again, I'm making them rich. But then when I turn around, I'm wondering why it's taking longer for me. So I literally had to cut that short and say, not everybody is worthy of my time. And I need to really focus on how much am I giving to myself. And ever since I did that, I'm seeing a return on everything that I do because I'm protecting my energy now.
Now, did this happen kind of realizing that, when did you kind of start making that realization that because of course we've known each other for quite some time, where
Hmm.
we get so excited about our projects, we get so excited about, because our goal is to help people,
Yes.
better them, and if we're bettering them, we feel good about ourselves to be able to do so because of our skills, and being Geminis, we got everything under the sun that we want to do. We're excited about these things, but when around when did it just kind of come to you that it's like, you know what, I think I need to pull back a little bit. I'm doing a little too much at this point.
It was recent, and I'm gonna tell you my 7 year journey. Because remember, I told you a lot of people don't know this. Years ago, I lost everything: my job, my apartment, my relationship. I was homeless in the car right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
So all my energy was spent and I had to build myself back up. And in doing so, I became, I fortified myself as a life coach and a metaphysical healer and things like that. So I had to stay with people throughout those years. And I started to see a pattern. Everybody I stayed with, for example, if I didn't have a place to stay and somebody opened up their house, if I can't pay you rent, I'm going to clean your house. I'm going to cook. I'm going to fix things. I never just sit still and don't allow things. So I noticed every place I went to, I saw their house transform
Mhm.
because I was there assisting and helping them. But afterwards, I would end up being kicked out or leaving, and then I'll be down to nothing. So fast forward to I done went to Houston, did the exact same thing. I kept seeing a repeated pattern, but I couldn't figure out what it was because I was stuck in help mode. When I finally left Houston and came to stay with my parents in South Carolina, I got tired of being, I had to sit down and say, why is it that everybody else around me is making bank? Everybody I help is helping. And I was like, what's going on with me? And that's when it finally clicked, is when I got upset with myself. And my my spirit literally spoke and said, Aaron, that's because look at who you talk to every week.
Mhm.
Look at who you're giving advice to.
Yep.
Out of all those friends, who is genuinely giving love and advice back to you?
Who's
And
pouring
that's
back into
y-
you?
yeah, and that's when it literally hit me. None of my friends except for you were pouring into me, but everybody else that I was helping, I was it hit me. You're making them rich by, again, giving them advice, giving them information, but are you getting work done? Are you spending enough time? Even if you do spend time with you, which is the reason I got off of TikTok. Because TikTok, I was on there every 3 hour lives,
And this guy
almost
right here, he had a good amount of followers and built up
36,000.
a beautiful platform, but the numbers don't mean anything if giving too much of you know your energy.
Yeah. And I can tell you, people will tell you in real time what's going on because when I would read the comments, I would always see this same comment. I love your energy. And I saw it as a compliment, but it wasn't clicking. These people are coming again, if they're down and out. Maggie, you know this. People are
Mhm.
down and out. Let me go and turn on Maggie's T's, show. When I'm watching you, they're getting your
Free about
excitement and all this other stuff. So you giving your energy away because you love to, so it makes them feel good. So once I started to really hear and see and pay attention, walk around and say I'm drained, that's when I said I can't do it no more. So
it.
that's what made me realize you have to start saying no. Disappear on people. Stop being that artist who drop an album every year. Disappear so they
Disappear for
miss
Kendrick
you.
Lamar does it.
Yes.
Gemini.
Let them miss you. Get yourself together. And then when you get on your castle, then you can help everybody.
Absolutely. And I like that. I like that. So, and as far as for me, it took me a while too, and it's still a learning process for me as well, as far as who I give my energy to, who I allow into my energy. And people be wondering sometimes, you disappear quite often. I don't hear from you that often. It's like, yeah. I mean, it's no offense to anybody, but it's just like, for me, I have to take it all in, and I have to, process what's going on around me. And it can be a lot of being overwhelming because, of course, I have not only this project here, I have my Atlanta Falcons Nation project. I got my coaching, and I even had to take a step back from the coaching part. I was like, yes, I'm excited about helping people, but like you said, you bringing those people in, and of course, you're giving them all the great advice and everything else. Um, I'm not taking care of myself at the end of it. My mental is taking a hit because it's like sometimes I even go to bed with it on my head, like people
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like sometimes I'm trying to help and connect it. Maybe sometimes it might not go the way that you want to go. So you're thinking, what can I do differently to, connect with them? What you got all these things going on, finances, because in this economy right now, it's so much going on where you're just trying to, like you were saying, you were staying from, house to house and things like that. You was also in survival mode.
Yes.
A lot of us
Yes.
are still in survival mode. Yes, I have a mortgage. Yes, I have a roof over my head. Yes, I can pay my bills, but it's just the bare minimum of what I can take care of, and food on my table and everything else. But I don't feel like I'm over there with where, you know, people that got higher status of.
Yeah, they got the passive, and this one thing I learned, there's a difference between passive income and income that you have to work for.
Mhm,
And I also started to recognize going back to how everybody sitting at your table. When I found this out, it made sense.
mhm.
If your circle is full of broke individuals,
Oh,
even if you want out or you have high and mighty standards, if everybody's spending money around you, that's in a broke mindset. And when I say broke, I don't want people to just really be like, I'm talking, you not making enough. I mean, literally, your energy. If everybody around you has low energy and broke
mhm.
mindset, you will not take off.
Yeah.
But I found out if I start to be around people who make passive income or people who are 100,000aires or millionaires, you see how they move, you see how they act, but
Mhm.
also that energy that they give off now translates on to you. So your circle of who you're around, if most people are wondering, why can't I move in a certain direction? You have to stop and look and see who's actually
Who's around
around you.
you.
Because if you don't, you will just stay in that same type of mindset. So, Maggie, let me ask you this, the same question you asked me. When did you realize that you were expending so much of your energy and you said I have to change it?
You know what? I started to see it when I was going through my, I am freshly divorced, where I was in a long term relationship for quite some time before we got married. My daughter is 14, so give and take about 12 years that we were together total. Um, a lot of times for me, I am that that companion that uplifts. You get out there and do it. You got this. You're brilliant. You're smart. You're amazing. I'm giving you all that type of energy because, of course, I'm a go-getter. This Atlanta Falcons Nation thing. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to make my own money. Yes, I have a 9 to 5, but my goal has always, I got to get it in the mud and eventually have my own and do my own. But I had a partner that was very complacent, not social, stayed in the house a lot, introvert heavily, and it came from the upbringing of the parents and things like that. So
Hmm.
that person had to be in survival mode, and that's all they knew. It's
Hmm.
like, I know I got to go get a job to make this money and pay these bills, but you're complacent with just sitting there. And it's like,
Hmm.
they're not wanting to take outside risk and better themselves. Was a beautiful poet and wrote stories and beautiful things. I was like, you can make this a script. You can do so much with this. It can be TV. But because, and also taking in what people say about the things they put out, took it in and it affected them. It's like you was giving it to people that didn't give a damn about what you had going on. That's the problem. So
Right.
here's my poetry book. Could you read it? They didn't read it. They didn't say anything. I actually read it from front to back, gave feedback. Oh, I like this story. I really like what you got going on. But because of what everybody else said or lack of interest in it, you was like, I'm no longer, I don't care. It's not going to take me anywhere because people kept saying writing and all this is not going to do anything for you. You need to go make it. make some money, get your income, because not only were you helping mom take care of bills, you know, seeing just a life of drugs and things like that. So just in a lifestyle where it's like, no matter what, I got to go hustle and make it, but didn't want to get better from that.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So,
And if I'll paint a picture for
mhm,
you, because what you just said, I want people to really understand you you were the energy that you was giving them. Again, let's relate it back to money because people get this.
mhm,
You were paying this man, and again, we all want to know. Everybody goes through what they go through, so there's never any shade. We've been up and down like that. But Maggie was, from the picture painted, she was paying this person so much money and energy. You can do this. This is great. This is that. He would take the money, but then the circle of friends you around, when you talk to them or given, it's like that energy that he had. Hey, y'all, let me show you this. It's like now he taking that money that you gave him and
mhm.
paying them. And instead of really giving feedback, they got their hand out. Thank you for this energy, but it's not that great. Bye. So now here he is walking around broke again. It goes back to, if you don't have that circle that's going to take what it is that you do. And here's a motto that I have now. I don't care what it is that you're doing in life. I'm going to boost you up. Whether it's
That's it.
you can say I'm creating bandages that I'm a sell and it's going to take off. I'm gonna tell you, be the best bandage salesperson no matter what it is. Even if I don't believe in it, I'm
Mhm.
not gonna take my opinions because I want to boost you up. So therefore, your energy with my energy, now we're climbing the ladder together, and I want to see you succeed. So that's something that I want a lot of people to recognize is, don't put your personal opinions into whether you like it or not. Boost it for them, because if it was to be in reverse, you would
You
want
don't want all
somebody
that.
with your ideas to say,
Yeah.
you know what, do what you do best, and I got your support system.
Mhm. And that's what it was. So it's like after a while, of course, the economy gets crazy. The energy I was giving wasn't received. What's going on, Maisha? What's going on?
Hey, hey, y'all.
Good evening. Welcome to the Candid Room. And of course, if you missed some of the conversation, you can rewind this back later. It will be on this channel. Um, so with that, I'm that positive person, and what I saw myself doing was kind of settling into being a people pleaser to this person.
Hmm.
um, losing connections with close friends that was just like, girl, you don't, what happened? People was asking, like, what's going on with you? What's happening? It's like, I'm trying to please my person, and I'm trying to make them feel better. And I'm forgetting about what's most important to me, my goals and dreams and things like that. And trying to do that in the midst of, and there was more things than that too, like relationship issues
Right,
we had, communication
right,
wasn't there. So it's like, I can't even come to you and talk to you about how I feel. We can't be adults here and have those conversations. So it's like I was missing that person I can lean on and say, where should I go with this? What direction do I need to be? Do I need to kind of walk away from this situation? But it was a familiar situation to me because I love this person.
hmm,
Truly did, and so it's like, everybody, you gotta fight for your relationship. You gotta put all you in. And I went into therapy, all that kind of stuff. But something said, you know what? And what it really was, when I started looking back at it and the things that were being said, especially around the people, I go out by myself to promote myself.
hmm.
All these strangers, and of course, I'm an attractive lady. So people compliment me and, oh, Maggie, we see you. And oh my goodness, we're excited to see you. But it's like, you're supposed to be right here beside me saying, yep, that's my lady. How you doing? Nice to meet you. People didn't even realize I was in a relationship. And at that point, it was like, these are your groupies, go entertain them. Um, just very negative. And I was like, are you jealous? Is that what it truly is? Because at the end of the day, I'm coming home to you. I'm not disrespecting you. And maybe some of the things that I was doing where I'm promoting at one time, when it kind of really got rocky to the point it was like, okay, the end is coming. I'm promoting a restaurant that I wanted my people to come, bar and grill, that I wanted all
Mm-hmm.
my people
I
that watched
remember.
Falcon stuff. You remember that? And you
Mm-hmm.
remember the mindset I was in during that time.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of anxiety and high energy, and I was just like, I'm trying to do everything else. And really, because I had quit my job, well, no, I quit it after they was cutting my hours. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a leap out here. I'm going to make it on my own. I'm about to do this. But I didn't. I just did it because screw it. Whatever. Whatever happens, happens. But I didn't prepare myself enough for that moment. So I'm over here trying to figure it out, how to pay my bills, fix my relationship. You're complaining because I'm staying in the wee hours to promote this spot.
That's a lot of
It's
energy.
it's a lot of energy. So after a point, I was like, you know what? It's time for me to move on.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for me to let this go. Um, it took a lot of soul searching and everything else, but I had lost myself. When I felt that I was losing myself in this relationship, I wasn't myself. I go back and look at some of my behavior. I was out of my mind at some points. And thank goodness that, this is like, I call him my spiritual leader, because I reached out to him when I was coming at him a mile a minute. This is what I want to do. And I was hyper, hyper, hyper. He told me one time, hold on, slow down. Because I was going in my spiritual journey then. I was starting to see numbers and read things and zodiacs and this and that, because I was watching his journey. It's like, you're getting it. You're understanding it. I can feel your energy. But I was doing it in a PTSD, anxiety type hyper mode. So everything was extremely excited, but I didn't know how to slow down and sit down sometimes. And I pretty much burnt myself out at this point. I
And
did.
sometimes that's the best. That's the best thing is we as people, and to be perfectly honest, is a lot of us who are melanated people. We're used to pain, and I can do it myself,
Yeah.
and that carries over into we don't know when to stop. So we can go the longevity of I gotta survive, I gotta do this. It's in our DNA from years and years and years of physical slavery, mental slavery, having to fend for ourselves. So we're tough, like Luke Cage tough, but it's not until you get to that point of giving up.
Mhm.
And the beautiful thing I found out about your own journey, whether you call it life journey, spiritual journey, doesn't matter. But there's a certain point to where you have to hit rock bottom in order for you to change, because there's no other way you're going to change, because you're too comfortable. So it's a timeline of going through a whole bunch of different downgrades, but when that time officially hits and you say enough is enough, the only way to go the only way to go from down is up. So whenever people do hit that rock bottom, I've started to encourage, whenever somebody's saying they're having the worst time of their life, that lets me know you're about to have a breakthrough, because you have to break in order to get to that next level, or else you're just going to stay comfortable. And no matter I know you've done this before, Maggie, you try to encourage somebody so long, and it's almost like you're saving them. If you were a superwoman, right? And if somebody was diving off the building right before they hit the ground, if you save them, they gonna keep saying, I'm gonna keep diving off because I know Superwoman Maggie
So
is gonna save me.
he's gonna pull me through.
But that one time that you decide not to show up and they smack dab on the ground,
Yeah.
I realize I can't do this no more because they're not here for me. Now my life actually has to change.
And this goes right into our segment right there. No is sacred. Let's talk about boundaries, everybody. No is not me. For one thing, you got to remember that no is definitely not being whatever you can get called when you're saying no to somebody that's entitled or brat or what have you. All the names you get called after that, that's not who you are. No is not selfish either. It's protecting what's most important to you, because the fact that, like you said, you're holding the hand of somebody that doesn't care to get it right. They just feel like you are their crutch, no matter what they're going through and how they're going through it. Maggie's gonna come out here and save the day once again and hug on me and love on me and kiss on my boo-boos. Even when I'm going through this relationship issue, I'm with this person I know I shouldn't be with. And she gave me all the advice in the world about leaving that person. But guess what? I'm still with that thing and I'm still miserable and I'm still upset. And it's like, or it can be even more than that. It can be drugs, alcohol, it can be other habits that you might have, holding on to people you shouldn't be holding on to, trying to be in the right crowd which isn't the right crowd for you. It can be a number of things, and then of course last but not least, no is grown.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're an adult about these things, you're mature about these things, and you know what you mean and you know what you say, and you're sticking to it. Because who gets tired of, okay, well, you know what? I ain't mean that. I'm sorry. Let me get timid and I didn't mean that. Take that back. No, stand firm when you're saying no. Let's go ahead and get into that. How does that feel to you? That no is sacred. What does that mean to you?
No is very sacred. And before I get into what I want to talk about, once again, we appreciate everybody who's watching. If y'all, how do y'all? I want to know, how do you all feel about the word no at the same
Mhm.
time? And then I'm about to give my thoughts on it. You know, it goes. Do you know how long it took for me to get comfortable with no? It took me into my late 30s, and growing up again, being a people pleaser. One thing I admire about my mom is my mom puts her foot down. I used to watch her just, I'm not gonna do it, and it was like an admiring. Where my dad, he's the he's the pleaser. You know, he is the pastor, so it's used to having that hierarchy of, yes, I'll go ahead and do it. Not saying all of them are like that, but my dad is a very giving person. He is a Virgo, but he can be over giving. So I picked up from that. So because I didn't know how to use the word no, it's that how it felt was like a sting. Like someone, hey Aaron, do you mind doing this? And I would feel my Gemini, you know, that voice in the back of your mind. Don't do that.
Don't
Don't
do
do it.
it.
I promise you don't. And I would ignore that and I would be like, yeah, I'll go ahead and do it. Oh,
Think
thank you
about
very
it.
much. They
Yeah.
walk away and I
Mhm.
would hear myself screaming, you crazy. Why would you do that? I can't believe you said. And here I am saying the same thing. So no. And once again, how did I get to the point of saying no? I got fed up. I had to look at myself. I said, I don't like this feeling of being a yes person. But I'm going to tell you, Maggie, the only reason I was able to fix it was because I started to look at myself. Because I didn't know why I couldn't say no. No matter how hard I tried, it was like I was under a programming. So that's when I looked back at my life and was like, where'd you get this from? Oh, wait a minute. Your parents. That's where you got it from. So once I went back and understood what it was, I was able to incorporate it. And it wasn't easy, but I still decided to do it. So I got so used to saying no as much as I got used to saying yes. And of course, it was a sting the first couple times that I used it. But once I got used to it, no feels just as good when I say yes because I've stepped into my power. It puts that energetic block, letting people know that I'm not going to stand for this. And it's
Mhm.
very good because I look at it like this. It goes back to the group of people you're around. If you tell no to a group of individuals that you're close with, watch how they change. You need to reevaluate who you're with, because if people only like it when you say yes,
Mhm.
that's a problem. They are draining you and they're not good people to be around. They need to start respecting the fact of, if I tell you no the first half, don't go into, but can you please? Can I help you? Don't keep trying to convince me. If you're around people who keep saying after you
But
said no, yeah, but I hope, but and they
for
don't
all the things
learn.
I've done for you, this, that, and
hmm
the other. Oh, you gonna do me like that? The guilt
it's
trip.
time to cut them people loose. No is just as beautiful as saying yes because it protects you. Just like you, Maggie, like you said, if Maggie keeps saying yes and Maggie ends up, this won't happen, but if she ends up in the hospital from burnt out,
Yeah.
now all the no's are going to come regardless, but Maggie had to suffer into it. So it's like if we don't learn to say no and take care of ourselves, then
So
it's going to hit us, but everybody else will be able to walk away clean. So self-preservation is a must.
And then of course, then with that, when you kind of like this, what it was saying here, it says, some of you guys are scared to say no because you don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But meanwhile, you're over there just extremely exhausted, bitter, and low key annoyed every time that phone rings. So it's like oh my God, here she goes again.
And you feel forced to answer.
And you feel forced to answer it because, of course, they call you, then they text you, Fred, it's an emergency situation. It's like, I know what that emergency is. I already know what it is because you don't listen to me. You're not taking it in, and I'm tired. Like, I literally had a friend, close family member, that was going through a DV situation, and where knowing that person is not a good person, we went to the step of changing the locks on the house. Like, please don't let this person come in. Do not do that. But those situations, they have to want to be able to they have to want to get out of that situation themselves. You can talk until you're black and blue over and over again. And literally change the locks, make sure the windows have protection on and everything else. And then turn around, just let them right back on up in the house. Like, after all this crying, you're about to hurt yourself. You in the hospital because you're going through an episode, and like, it got to that extreme. So it's like, this is a terrible situation you are in. Remove yourself. But being the nurturer that I am, and being that it's a family member, I love them. I just want to help them. I feel bad. They even stayed in my home at some point because it's like, I need to escape the situation. But you're over here and you invited the person over. Excuse me. What are you doing? You don't want to remove yourself. You don't want to help. You're not ready yet. And so I had to finally say, you know what? I love you to death, and I really want you to be protected and safe here, but you're not doing the service for your own self, and you're still allowing this person to come over here. And then this person that you don't care for is entering in my home. Now their energy is coming around my children and things like that. It's not safe for me at all. So I think you might just have to pack your things up and go. It was another situation where another family member lost herself living in her car, things like that. And the other, can I stay with you for a moment? Can I do this? And it's like, at that point, I had already learned my lesson about letting people move in, because I've done it a couple of times where it never go the way you feel. People take advantage of your kindness. Same thing. I felt sorry. And it's like, come on, okay, just a little bit, right? Yeah. And it up being where you're inconveniencing me, coming in at different times of the night, it's disturbing my sleep, where I was having a hard time sleeping. When you start messing up my peace and my space, and my children don't feel as comfortable with you being around, that's a problem. As well as friends that need my help. And, I'm always up. I used to be that person that, like how you'll have something, and let's say you're going to have a performance or you're doing something. I'm right there behind them, camera, promoting them, doing all this and everything else. But where is that for me? You're not watching nothing. You're not doing anything. I'm asking you to share this. Oh, I'll do it when I get a chance to. But I'm right there, your right-hand man for everything and anything you need for you to get pushed. And you getting all the promos and you getting all this going on because of my effort. At the very end, I was like, you know what? No, I can't anymore. Help yourself. I need to focus on my dreams and my goals and my ambitions. And I got to get my mental back in check. So sorry, I cannot. Even with my show, the reason why this show is brand new is because you depend on people to say, yes, I'm in it 100%. Oh, we finna do this co-host thing. I'm committed to it. We finna put all this time and effort into it. But 2 or 3 times, because I had to change his name a couple of times with co-host, I'm putting all the effort into it. You just show up and look pretty. Because you got so much life outside of this where it's like, I'm coming to you and it's like, is this too much for you? It's okay, friend, to tell me that it's a little bit too much on your plate. We can pull back a little bit. But when we went into this, I expected consistency. The problem what started happening for me is when I start questioning that consistency. Oh, you're not considering my life. You're being mean. You a bee and all this kind of stuff because you only care about this. It's like, because we went into it about a partnership. This was a project. So my expectations, I expect is how I should show up is how I expect you to show up. So this in itself lost me a lot of friends because I'm holding people accountable for their actions and things like that. And I've learned it's hard to do things with people that you care about and love and call yourself friends. Particular people. Now, me and you can work together, because we're on the same mindset. But I've lost a lot of people along the way to this point.
And the beautiful thing about losing people, because most people, they don't like that word. I've lost friends, I've lost family. One thing I've learned about how energy is, and I think once people start to realize that we're more than just flesh and blood, and you put the energy back into it, people will start to relate more, more into it. When something is lost out of your life, energy is never, you heard this before, it's never created or destroyed. It's anything and everything is all around us. Everything is vibrating. Even a piece of, this pen
Mm-hmm.
has energy into it. It's nothing that's ever just dead energy. When people leave your life, when circumstances leave your life, when your job, whatever it is, leaves your life, new energy has to fill that void. It's
Yes.
science. So I want people to really understand, especially with relationships, how many people won't leave because they're like, but what if I'm alone?
Yeah.
What if I never meet this person again?
Dependent.
So I'm going to hold on to this deteriorating energy. But
Mm-hmm.
when it breaks off and they leave anyway because it went downhill, someone always comes up behind them. So when people really start to learn, if the people, and the people you mentioned, Maggie, like you said, they were not supporting you.
Mm-hmm.
They were in it for the time being. So thank you for your time being energy, but it's time for me to change. That's letting you know Maggie is elevating to the next position because now that she made the decision to say, I release you all, you calling in that new energy to where the people that you expect to be on your level is now going to fill that void. So I want people to really understand that one, saying no actually does help others as well too.
Yes.
That's one thing I realized. Like if I'll use an example. There was a friend who kept this was years ago. She kept coming to me, very Debbie Downer, and I would not say anything about it, but she left me with energy drain. I had to tell her about herself, not in a negative way, but I said, I can't be around you anymore because you're always in a negative Debbie Downer. If I would have not said that, she would have stayed in that pattern of coming to Aaron, coming to Aaron.
Mm-hmm.
But once I cut that off, when you lose something, it forces you to take in a different direction. So when you recognize when you say no to somebody and you're not there, like if like you have kids, when mama's not there to do something, it's forced for them to say, I need to readjust and figure out how is this going to work. So
Yeah.
saying no and dismembering people from your life actually helps them to find their own way. How many times have you gotten a phone call, Maggie? You ever had somebody call you, but you couldn't pick it up because you were busy?
Yeah.
And then when you call them back, you hear them say, I'll be like, hey, I wasn't around my phone. Oh, it's okay. I figured it
Oh, you
out.
said,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
I was calling you because I
Mm-hmm.
was needing your thing, but because you weren't there,
I had to figure
I
it out.
had to figure it out. And now I don't need you. When I used to hear that, I was like, well, that let me know right there again there's nothing wrong with coming to me from little bitty time to time, but people will figure it out when they have time to sit and stop having the training wheels on.
Ooh, and I'm so glad you said that. And that's what it is. It's like sometimes saying no because we are their crutch. We're their enablers and things like that. Yes, here you go. Knowing they got to lose weight, knowing they got to stop smoking these cigarettes. You're gonna go right to that store and buy it because they ain't got the money for one thing to get it. Could you just give me, this gonna help my stress and anxiety? All right, let me go on over here and get it for you
Mm-hmm.
because it's gonna help you to shut up for a moment and get out my face. Also, because you're annoyed with this person, you love them to death, but it's like, Why won't you quit that habit? Well, baby, you're giving them that habit, but
Yeah.
you're giving them candy. Here you go. Oh, you know what? I don't know how to figure out and you know go to the bank and do this and do that. I don't know how to do it. You're doing it so well. Can you help me? How old are you? You know, you're insane mind right now, aren't you?
Right.
You can figure this out. There's Google, there's Chat GPT now. There's so many resources out there to figure out how to do these things. Take yourself to the doctor. Go talk to these people. Find out what you need to talk to them about. You have
Speaking of
to
mental
learn.
health,
Mm-hmm.
Maggie, we also got to let people know the outside sources are good, but what if you and I learn that internal source? People are so used to, I need help from the outside, that they don't recognize that when you stop and you listen to your brain, it always has the answers.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, because we're so busy on the phone looking here, because I tell people this, there is never a time when you didn't know your brain was telling you not to do this
Yep.
and you ignored it. You got so used to ignoring it that you would hear it. Because any this is what I do with therapy. Anytime somebody comes to me for therapy, I always say, okay, you telling me your story, what do you think you should do? And they would tell me the exact answer. And
Yep.
I say, so you're coming to me for what? Well, I just want clarification. Now, there's nothing wrong with clarification, but you see how we have the answers, but I want somebody else to tell me
Mhm.
that it's okay.
Yeah.
When you
Reassurance
stop,
and yeah.
and you learn to hear yourself, now you start to trust yourself and you're able to get the answers that you need. But when you don't, and I tell people, your brain, and me and you, we Geminis, we know we got two energies in one body. When we don't listen to one, it's like a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Maggie have a beautiful relationship with one another. But if I disregard Maggie or she disregards me, it's going to be an issue and one of us has to address it. Your brain is the same way. You
Mm-hmm.
have an internal relationship, and just like any relationship, if you ignore your partner, they're not going to like it. When you ignore your internal thoughts, it's going to turn its back on you and say, you didn't want to listen, so I'm not going to tell you no more. So it's finding that personal relationship with yourself to bring that self-love bond back.
Yeah, and it's so like you basically just said is sometimes that's why your therapist, your life guide, and everything kind of encourage you write it down,
Mm-hmm.
all your thoughts, get it on paper, speak it out. Sometime when you speak it and you hear yourself back, like,
It's different.
does that make any? And now you're starting to, it's like, you know what? Kind of like when we meet and talk about things and ideas, and it's like, I've been pondering this thing, right? This project I've been deciding to do, and I don't know which direction I should do it. And then next, just talking to you, hearing
It
it,
comes out.
it
Mm-hmm.
comes out, and it's like, ding, ding, ding. Now I get it. Now I'm hearing myself. How ridiculous this sounds, or how brilliant this sounds. Why are you second guessing yourself? You know how good you are. You know your talent is. You know what you're capable of. I think it's just some people fear holds you back. So you kind of want that second opinion from somebody saying, "You got this. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
even need me. Honestly, you help yourself. But I'm here to kind of, yep, you're right." A lot of
Yeah.
time, that's all some people need. Just to, you got this. Keep it going because you already got it sorted out. Where you like me? I have projects I wrote down years ago that I already have the blueprint about. Boom, 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 boom. I know what I want to do, how I want to do it, and how to pitch it, all of that. But the fear of maybe
The
I need
what ifs.
the
Mm-hmm.
what ifs. But what happens? So you second guess yourself. And then when I get out into these streets and do these things where at first I didn't even want to be on camera talking to people. I always wanted to be a voiceover. Here's an image, and you can't see me. But someone was like, no, that personal feeling you can give to people when they can interact and actually say, hey, you can wave back at them and interact with them. It's a
Mm-hmm.
different feeling because they feel connected to you even more that way. And when I started going out, and meeting people, people was like, oh, I love what you're doing. I appreciate all this. Oh, it's amazing. It's great, because I was looking for that in my partner. I wasn't getting that. So in a way, I needed that, that assurance that it's appreciated, it's respected, it's wanted, it's needed. But at the end of the day, I also felt, you know what? I don't even need anybody to tell me that. I know I'm good. I
Mm-hmm.
know I'm amazing because of the fruits of my labor. I'm seeing it happen. So sometimes we're so dependent on what other people think and what they say and how they feel. But like you said, it's all in here.
Yeah. And it goes back to I'm gonna loop that back around to the partners that you're with
Mm-hmm.
romantically.
Mm-hmm.
If they are not secure within them own selves,
Yeah.
it will feel like a competition where you're doing, like you said, you were doing good, but they were, I don't even want to say they're not doing bad. They were going through their hermit mode, trying to discover what it is. But when you come home, and this is very important in a relationship, I found this out again, time after time after time. I get it now. I will not get with somebody who is not secure within themselves, because if I'm winning, first of all, if I'm winning, we winning. That should be
Mm-hmm.
automatic. But if I'm winning and they're looking at, man, he's so successful when he does this, it looks good and all this other stuff, but you're looking at me like, why can't I be like that? You are going to tear us down because of your insecurities, versus knowing the there go, like Usher, there go my baby. That's my baby. I applaud them, because one thing about relationships that I realized, and people don't recognize, even in marriage, what do they say? Through sickness and in health, till death do you part, through thick and thin.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a seesaw. Sometimes your wife, whether you, again, whether it's man on man, woman to woman, doesn't matter, but your partner, I should say, your partner may be doing good and you may be down. Use that bench to warm yourself up and get your thoughts together and to cheer them on in the sideline. And sometime it may switch to where they're down and then you're actually up. But people need to stop looking at it as, if they're doing what's needed, be that cheerleader for them. Use that sideline energy to get what's needed. Because sometimes it's best to be on the sideline. Not everybody needs to be in the spotlight.
Absolutely.
And at doing the show, you're on the spotlight. But if somebody's working behind the scenes to make sure your mic is done, your things is done, without them, you ain't got no show.
Yep.
Without you, they ain't got no what's the name. So when people play their role and find out where they're comfortable, that it's a beautiful symphony. Everybody's not supposed to be on the spotlight. It has to be a give and a take.
And it's a it's a teamwork. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
it's a people want to do this on their own and everything else, but I've learned you you can possibly, but I don't know how far this country, but far you can go with that, because um like I always say, there's a collective mind. I always like to create these mastermind groups, and what that is people that has collective ideas, collective things they're trying to do. Let's say you have your projects, your business, your thing. Now we might not have the same type of business or different same ideas, but what you've learned and how you put it together and made it successful for you can help another person that's coming into the game. It's like, you know what? I want to run an ice cream shop. And how can I get into this and do this? So, they're business minded. They want to, they want to learn from this. So everybody come in with ideas. You learn your strengths and weaknesses, and you take it from somebody that might be strong in this. I'm a marketing person, so forth. This person may not be good at marketing. Well, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I know how to write contracts. I know how to, so like how he does the graphics and things like that. He's amazing at it. So it's like, but at the same time, what he's doing is, here's the tools to do this. I'm not going to do it for you. Figure it out. That's how we're going to learn here, though. I'm going to ask you questions. Well, how do you do that, and tweak it and fine tune it how it works best for me and my business. But and then of course I bring him tools and things like that he can use. I never thought about it that way. It's because your mind is like this because you're a lady, and I don't think about this. You think of you's a problem solver. It's so many energies, so many personality that comes together when you have those mastermind groups, that I'm always saying this: you're better off together than you are apart.
Yes.
All this competition that's out here. So what if he's making a little bit more than you? You're gonna get there. You just gotta fine tune some things over here, and you're gonna take your losses and your gains as well. Starting a business, starting something new, starting something fresh. It's not gonna just pop off like that. But
Mm-hmm.
you got to have the drive, the push, the motivation to not give up on it. It's like, okay, one viewer is better than zero
Mm-hmm.
this week. 5 viewers next week is better. And then you look back at it over a time span. You know what? Now you got 20 viewers. You got 100. You have 150. And you keep it going because you're consistent. You keep pushing it. You're going into it like it's your job. Put so much passion to your thing. It's when people kind of, especially when it's something that you don't even care about, you're stealing somebody else's idea and just saying, oh, I'm looking for a way to make a quick buck. And you wonder why that's not working for you because you're not really passionate about this. This is not your baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Somebody else's baby, somebody else's idea that you just put a little sticker on it and say, hey, cups by Maggie T.
Right.
You know,
And it
you know what
relates
I'm saying?
this, yeah, it relates this back to what you just said about growing your following. That's energy within itself too.
Mhm.
If you the more energy, and this is what I found out, because I've been on YouTube since 2006. So I've seen how stuff grows. No matter how good, it doesn't matter about your equipment, it doesn't matter about your camera angles, because I've
Mhm.
seen people, not the best video footage or a simple camera, 100,000 viewers
Yeah.
coming in because I used to worry about, and this goes by because I did, me, acting and TV, everything got to be perfect. Not saying it's not good to have a good background setup, but I found out you can have the best setup, you can have the best this, but it's how much energy are you putting into it? Are you doing a show every week? Are
Mhm.
you doing it every day? Are you doing it every month? Even like you said, if we did this show just as example and we just had one person watching, but we gave our all into that, it's us showing ourselves we love this so much. And again, you always gonna get tested. Give honor for that one person that's doing that. Because, and this is a beautiful thing, why would your life grant you more if you ain't even happy with what you got now? So
Absolutely.
if I'm complaining, all I got is one person or two people or three, and I want to be like this, you're diminishing your energy. But if we keep going and doing what we love, especially because
Mhm.
we ain't doing this for the money, we know it's gonna come. But when you do what you love, you
Absolutely.
change people's lives, you change their energy. So, like you said, one viewer maybe goes into three, maybe goes into four, maybe goes into 100. But when we don't focus on, man, we only had one, that one person who's watching you could turn out to be a trillionaire 5 years later. And because they watched you, hey, I want to invest in you. So never look down on how small you are. Just keep putting your energy, effort into it, and it will grow.
And then at the same time, that one person, because like I went into this, I was like, I have not been active on this channel, so I already know I have to build it back up. But I'm going into this episode that like we have 1,000 people watching us right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Even if it's one person like Maisha, thank you for participating, and as long as we got
absolutely.
somebody responding and answering and yes and stuff like that, we're giving them some good entertainment. And for me, that's most important because you can take this clip, you can cut it up, she can share it to somebody. Oh, check
Mm-hmm.
it out. It's a great show. I enjoyed this. Word of mouth.
Yes.
More people's like, what are you talking about? What is this? Let me check it in. Let me tune it in. I like this. Oh my goodness. When is it coming back? Next week. Oh, okay. And you showing up at the same exact time, giving them great information, great things to come back to, and they can relate. And where you're coming in here like, oh, okay, it's just zero people. It isn't a difference like, hey everybody, it's just your girl, Miss.
Right. Why isn't there more like the live? That's one thing I didn't like about.
With that kind of energy, you're draining and okay, your body language. I don't want to be here for real, but hey, whoever's here,
Yeah.
you come in here. Oh, what's going on today? And you're feeling good about it. That energy is going to transpire to somebody out there just happen to come across this video, because YouTube, what it does is recommend videos like something they was watching earlier. I'm coming here to look for motivational videos about something, something, something. Here's a suggestion right here. Check that out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I totally agree with you. And I can confess, being on live can twist your ego a bit,
Hmm.
because when you're pre-recording, you know nobody's watching, so you'll give your all. It should not change, but it's something about, because they do design these things to kind of mess with your head. It's, I don't know what it is, but it's like when you're on there and you see the numbers, whether they go up, down, or whatever, it's almost like a dopamine hit, and it can mess with you. But like you said, when I'm on here, I'm not looking at the numbers. I'm looking at Maggie and I are having champagne,
Yep.
candid talks,
Hmm.
enjoying talking about the information, and people who want to come in and talk to us is there. And if they do engage in the audience, absolutely. We are not doing this for clout. We are doing this because people need us. We want
Hmm.
people to be able to walk away and say, and Maggie, I know you can attest to this. How many times have you done a show and you get that person who tells you, I listen to you before I go to bed, or I listen to you as I'm going through work. You help me get through the harsh days.
I
It's
have.
things like that where I'm like, wow, I
I have.
never knew that. And that's why I always tell people, if you're comment, let us know how you actually feel, because we're in here talking. You don't, I'm not saying you have to, but your input actually fuels us to
Hmm.
continue doing what we're doing, because we may not know how you're feeling. So that feedback gives us energy as well. So we always thank everybody for that.
And even if you didn't watch it and you have to rewatch it, leave that feedback after, because we go back and see all the comments. We see everything. I
Hmm.
like to make clips of these and post it around so I can advertise it. So you're going to hear some of these gems and things like that periodically. So with that, it's just yes, when I was doing my Atlanta Falcons Nation thing, and I'm just talking about sports. We have a collection of just funny guys and everybody cracking jokes, and people was like, you know what, Maggie, I turn on your show because I get a laugh. And I was having a bad day and I got those type of stories. And it was like, you don't think about those type of things. Like, but you're just watching about sports and we're talking about the Falcons. It's like, but no, you guys get silly and you uplift my spirits because I feel like I'm family with you guys. I got that a lot. And that's what kind of brought this on, because yes, I was in the background helping people, and I always wanted to do the mental health thing because of course with my daughter, she was going through some things with her own mental health, my own mental health. I knew I needed people to talk to and to help me get through my journey. So I was like, I want to be open to other people that needs that, but I didn't think that just doing sports talk is helping people go through some things. It
Hmm.
was like, let me take this over here and do this too. When it was Champagne Confessions, Lust Exchange, and all that, whatever, different ideas I had with this channel, it's been changed a couple of times. But the overall thing was people just want to talk about life, what they're going through, and feel like this is an unbiased, open platform where you're not being judged and just you have a mouthpiece and they can relate to this and they take something from it. But at the same time, this is a lot of energy. So we're gonna get into the little bit of last bit of this because we're closing in on our 115 mark. But just another personal story when I let the wrong people in. I have a number of things here, but this particular time is kind of around that time I was still trying to find myself years ago. This is around when COVID started. I had quit my job trying to do this restaurant, and COVID came in, and then it's like, oh my goodness, now I got to figure out I had to go find another job, because trying to work on your own and make money just wasn't working for me. So it was like I had to take the step. It was like, okay, let me go find another 9 to 5, but I still want to be in the entertainment industry. Then this is when I was talking to people that were like music producers and trying to promote artists. I was like, oh, this is right up my alley. Whoa, well, you want me to be a part of your group? And I was excited all about that. I was telling everybody about it. And of course, I'm doing all the work as far as website making, promoting on their social medias for free now. For me, I'm thinking, oh, I'm just doing this. I'm getting my, oh, it's just great. It's going to benefit me in the end. So I'm doing them favors while they sit back and take all the credit for it. But at the same time, of course, it was tasking because we meet at different times of the day, and I had to put all my stuff to the side to make sure I'm there for this meeting and all this going on. At the end of the day, it was a lot of messiness going on within this group. There was people talking about people. You can't work with this person because of this. A lot of people don't really understand that the entertainment industry, especially when it comes to music and things like that, it's a dark, 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 dark
It is.
and it can be vulturing, and it can drain you into a place where you're not even recognizing who you are because you're just loving the success of this artist getting those numbers and the dirty work that goes behind this. When it comes to these people getting this exposure and things like that, you have to, we can get deep into this, but you're selling your soul, as some people say. It literally happens.
It's true.
And I was looking like, I don't know if I'm on this type of, I don't want that much success. I'm sorry, but when I was getting no sleep, and it came to a point where I went into an extreme panic attack because I wasn't sleeping. I was drinking coffee. I was trying to just stay with it, and I got to be available anytime they call me because you just got to be. That's just what the music industry is. But at the same time, I'm starting to become friends with these people, letting them into my world and all this kind of, let me tell me about your life. What's going on with you? They really they wasn't concerned about you. They just care about what you can do for them, but they wasn't genuinely your friend. They wasn't genuinely giving a damn about what you had to say. So it was that fake love and fake things. And I was like, why do I feel so terrible every time I come around these people? Why do I feel so bad when I come around these people? What is it? I had to look at it, and it was like, and I questioned myself, and I start seeing, once you start looking at it and you starting to see the signs of it, what does this mean? I started seeing things, and it was just like revealing to me, like, no, stay away. Stay away from these people now. These are not good people. Yes, you want the success. Yes, you want it, but no, you're not going to set yourself down to these type of people because of what you was learning about what they do to get there. That's not me. If it's not positive, it's not me. So it's like, I don't want the fame and all that bad if it got to come to that part of things. So yeah, I had to cut all of that off. And that's my personal story about when I was letting the wrong people in, because this was when one of my closest friends too, like the one I was telling you I was promoting, and she's an artist and she gets out there in these showcases, but it came to a point where it was a group of young ladies, because of course she don't got a body done, so she's looking good and everything. So she's feeling herself. So there's jealousy and everything that comes with that. But they knew you from back when you was in high school and back in the day. It's like, I know who you really are, so I'm gonna mess with you. I'm gonna get under your skin. And so I was promoting this restaurant. This young lady came to me. Of course, I can just kind of tell that she was for the streets, if you will. And I was in there trying to be my promoting self, professional about things. And turns out they were just trying to make me like their, the girl of the flyer. It's like, no, I don't operate like that. I'm sorry. She was like, well, she sat next to me and she's like, who are you? Oh, I'm Maggie T. This is me, my business, and this is what I'm trying to do: promote my podcast and have a place where people can come watch the game. Oh, well, what do you know about my friend that promote? The artist. Well, how do you know this person? Yeah, that's my best friend. That's my, road dog. Known each other a long time. That's my ride or die. Turns out she knew exactly who she was. They didn't like each other. It was over some guy situation a long time ago. So yeah, it was to the point, I think I hit you up one day, and it was like, I'm in this restaurant and I'm feeling this energy that I don't like. Put these like the pyramids or whatever around energy. And I'm telling you, I was seeing who this person was and I'm protective of my friend. So she started some issues with my friend. And of course, she's fighting mad. She's angry. We're all drinking. We're having that energy was there. I was to the point where I was seeing red and things I shouldn't be seeing and what I wanted to do to somebody because I was not sleeping well. I was trying to promote myself. I had all these things and demons and things around me trying to get in here. And when I was seeing that red, and I was like, I'll go to jail. I'll do this because I'm a ride or die about my friend. I was like, this is not it. This is
Hmm.
this restaurant, all this, it's not worth it. You can do when you get yourself together and make your own and have your own business that you invest in and create. And my restaurant, I will have that, but trying to do it off up under somebody else, this ain't the way to do it.
Yeah.
When I was
I-
seeing that red, and it was scaring the heck out of me because I was hearing things I shouldn't be hearing and seeing things that was telling me to do some things I shouldn't be doing. And that's my story about letting people in wrongly. But something higher power was like, nah, remove yourself, woman. Let it
mhm.
go. It's okay. And I did. I walked up completely away from all of that, even my friend.
It's good that you to I know about that the situation because like we said, energy, all them people in a box, the drinking, and most people don't recognize. And I found this out because I've been in situations where I would get constantly drunk so many different times, but I got myself out of it. Drinking lowers your energy
Mhm.
just enough to where people's spirits, because we all got spirits and energy. People don't need to forget that. Liquor stores, it does say it says liquor and spirits across the billboard. People forget that.
Yeah.
So whenever you are drinking, it lowers your energy enough to where those lower level energies can come in and whisper those, make sure you do this or see red or everything else like that. So I'm glad you recognize it because most people don't know what this
They
stuff
don't.
does.
Mhm.
My personal story, oh my God, I got so many of them, but I'll pall it into one. When I after I had my awakening, as you should say, and I started to really get into myself and I really found out who I was and how great my energy is. You saw me, I was on social media. I did the RG creations. That's when it really hit. When I started doing for myself.
Mhm.
And again, the energies that I was working with my crystal company helps boost that energy up. People watch you, and this goes back into me being a people pleaser. You know me, Maggie. I love being on the stage. I'm an actor. I
Mhm.
thrive off of people loving your work, loving this because they're giving me the energy. So anytime someone tell me how great my work is, how they would love my podcasting or anything else like that, I'm like, okay, I'm glad I'm able to help and see that. But I was ignorant to the fact that people love you, Aaron, but they also looking at, I can get so much from this person and he's naive. So while I was going through that process of still having to stay with people, there was business partners, business. I'm so glad. First of all, I'm glad I went through what I went through with business partners because I got bit in the ass so many times that I learned. But there was a business partner I stayed with in Atlanta. He saw my work with RG Creations and was like, "Hey, me and my wife really love what it is that you do. We would like to partner with you." Blase, 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 glitz and glams, telling me all these great things that they're going to offer. Me being in my fight or flight survival mode, I needed a place to stay. He said, if you can come stay, I have a house, I'll pay you this, I'll do this, all this other stuff. So this is before contracts, and I used to just take people's word. I went to move in with this person, completely different ball game. I saw how he didn't have his stuff together. But again, me being okay, you offer me a place to stay. I don't have to pay rent, but I'm gonna help you out. I done changed. I done he had a wardrobe out company. Maggie, I took all the packaging out. He had it sealed, wrapped, ready to go. I redid his website, redid the pictures, the photos. I'm talking about I put everything out there. He wasn't giving anything in return. It was one time we went to a park to go promote his stuff at a pop-up shop. I was doing everything, folding the tables, putting the stuff in there. I'm thinking in my mind, because I had my stuff and he had his stuff. Soon as we parked the car, he got his kids with him. And I'm gonna go over here and watch these kids. And he left me to set up the table. So I'm setting the whole thing up and everything, and he's over there. I'm sitting here like, I know he is not having me do everything. So I gotta stay at the table and all this other stuff. So fast forward to where I had to cut that loose. Left him to go stay with another business partner because they saw me. Oh, you dealing with that? Come on over here and then we'll help you. Opened it right up. Once again, these people were watching me. Aaron, aka Cosmic, has good energy. If he's around me, it'll thrive. Went to go stay with them, did the same exact thing. Helped them with the pop-up shops, helped them with this. They had kids. I became almost like the daddy to both of them, unfortunately. But I don't disregard it because I'm glad I'm a I love being like a cosmic father to people
Yeah.
because kids do they need that what's the word? That role model. So I don't disregard that because I was able to do it. But there were so many people that I ended up helping. And in the moment, I thought that I was doing good, but they were actually using me. And it always starts off nice, like just like how movies start off, but then there's that climax, and then you start to see some things. So things started to pivot and go downhill. But I noticed, okay, Aaron, every time you leave one, you go and do the same thing with another. So I had to keep going through those processes until I officially got it. So I've learned that I'm the money, I'm the magic. Not saying they're not, but I would see. And when you pay attention to how you are, when this is a good thing, when you're in a project or when you're around a group of people, look at how that company or whatever takes off when you get there. And most people don't know it's because of you. When you disappear, and it starts to go downhill, it lets you know that there was not equal balance.
Yeah.
So when you know who you are and you know the funk that you can bring, you gotta once again goes back into protecting that because so many people will watch you. Like again, there's people watching Maggie T who Maggie's doing good. Why not bring her into this direction so she can boost us up? But I'm not gonna give anything in return. So I've learned trial runs. Let me see your life. Let me see what it is that you're dealing with. Let me see your business. Let me get to know you before I decide to. And that's where I love what we're doing. We have constant history of supporting one another,
Yep.
knowing our ins and our outs, supporting, doing all types of different things. So whenever it comes back around to where if Maggie's, hey, Cosmic, we doing a show, you already know I'm in there
Oh yeah.
because we gonna bring that support, and I know you'll do the same thing for me. So this is the type of circle that I actually trust because it's been built
And
over time.
it's been um it hasn't been broken either.
Nope.
It's been the same energy each and every time because I tell him I was like I'm your number one fan.
And she's told me, and I appreciate that because not many I've had people tell me that, but Maggie has again years. We're not gonna go down into the number, but enough to where if someone said, "Who do you trust in a business sense?" Maggie T Productions.
Yeah, because it's like and like you said, seeing their work ethic, how they, how much they put into their project, how passionate they are about it. It's like, is that worth my time? Because if you're not giving yourself the enough effort, why the hell you think I'm gonna do the same? And what
Hmm.
we used to always do is we uplift and push people and encourage people. We want this person to be better and all this kind of stuff, but didn't realize they're using us for what we have and our talents and things like that. And then you question yourself. It's like, I'm not even putting enough into my own self because I'm over here trying to make sure that you're better. Sometimes it's okay. This quote right here: "You're not mean. You're just mindful."
Hmm.
That's it. Now you're starting to really take picture of yourself, and it's like, why haven't I elevated to the point where these other people that I've helped elevated to? Hold on, them and me. What's happening right here? It's because I'm not giving myself enough time and effort to work on my craft and do what I need to do because I keep coming back to it. It's like, oh, I'm gonna get to that tomorrow because this is most important. This is priority to me because my friend has a deadline
Hmm.
to make. I got to be at this meeting. I got to be at this place because, man, this friend is going to help me put my foot out there, get me out the door. And you thinking it's good resources and good connection. And, it's going to connect you to other people. But at the same time, you can do that for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need all these avenues when you just invest everything in your own self, find the tools that you can use, and figure it out on your own. You writing it down, everything that you need to do each and every day, and you're actually doing it for yourself first. Put you first is what I always talk about. So, no, you're not mean. Now you're just thinking with this versus I got to make the money. How can I get there real quick? The money is not happening.
And one thing too that I want people to realize, most people who consider someone mean, they're not used to hearing the word no.
Yeah.
Cause look at there's a difference between somebody being rude and obnoxious versus being mean. I've come across mean people to where I know, oh, you're just going through some things. But some people will equate it to, if you call me mean after I told you no,
Mhm.
that has nothing to do with me being mean. It's just I'm on a level of respect. And going into business, that's one thing that I recognize. You have to have tough skin because a business mindset deals with money,
Mhm.
deals with productivity, deals with time and effort.
Mhm.
And when you get to a certain point, that whole when people say I'm making boss moves or how'd you get to this point, having thick skin. Because if you go into business, not saying don't lose yourself and you can't be nice, but when you're too nice, business people who have been in the game will take advantage of you because they be like, "Oh, you a newbie and you don't know anything about this. I'm going to go ahead and use you cuz you
Oh,
don't even know."
mhm.
So it's like you have to,
You don't know your worth. You don't know
yes.
everything that you. Yes,
And they can spot a rookie from a mile away. So
absolutely.
that's why I really appreciate going through the notions when you first start something off because you learn versus if Maggie T Productions or Cosmic Mindset as myself, let's say we did jump into the $1 million avenue without position, we would get unfortunately ate up by the sharks because we in an environment where they lived and breathed it, where we just jumped into there. And people who got money again, hey, I got an investment for you. Hey, I got this for you. Hey, why don't we go in on this? And if they lose $100,000, it's no problem for them. But if you lose everything, it's gone. So yeah, you're definitely no, you're not mean. And you can tell the difference between being mean if the energy and tension is heavy and hot. That's how you can tell the mean energy in there. But if it's calm and collective and someone calls you mean, no, they just don't like the idea that you're putting your foot down. So yes, being very mindful and protective of who you are is a must.
Yeah, now here it is right here. Just gonna kind of a couple of things here. Protecting your energy don't make you mean. It makes you mindful, like we said. It means you're choosing peace over performance, stillness over noise. So tonight, I want you to remember you don't have to be accessible to everybody. You don't owe everyone a piece of you. This is your season of intentional energy. And if they don't respect it, they were never aligned with it in the first place. So when they have an attitude and it's a problem, that's letting you know right there who to work with or not. It's teaching you something along the way.
And everything is a lesson.
Mhm.
That's what everybody needs to know. Even if it feels like your life is down in the gutter, don't. I've learned through life. Life is happening for you, not to you. Because out of everything that we've gone through, I'm pretty sure Maggie, those scars made you such an amazing woman, a business owner, a friend. If you were to take those scars away, you wouldn't learn anything.
Yeah.
So it's those we don't know. It sucks having to go through it, but having an appreciation as to why you go through it makes sense later on in life and you'll think it. But during the process of it, it's not fun. But just know, have a my mantra, whatever's happening to me right now is building me up for the future that I want to be able to have.
Absolutely. And a lot of that makes it where you have to turn away from people that you confided in so long, trusting friends and all that. So this kind of recently happened to me, with my other portion of my business where jealousy is still out there, even your closest people. I had got an interview with a certain football player, and that turned hell loose when it was like, oh, why didn't you include me in this conversation? Why I'm not a part of this interview and things like that. Excuse me. But when we separated the channels because of we just didn't connect, our ideas didn't align. I like positivity on my channel. You like all the messiness and all that. We just don't interact with each other. So I had to make that decision that we have to separate anyway. With that, I was saying no to a lot of things. Like, I know I cannot drag you along with me when I'm putting out the effort to get these interviews and everything else. If you want it, you got to go get it. Stop using me because, oh no, I know you're the person that talks to people, and you can do that too. What's the problem? Stop trying to ride my wave and then get mad when you don't have access to everything that I have access to, because I feel like I did all the work. It's rightfully for me.
Mm-hmm.
So it caused some riffraff where jealousy and access to things was happening where I had to take all my action. What you were saying was no contracts, no paperwork, no anything, because you were just trusting of these people. It had brought me to that. It was like, oh, I need to put everything down on paper. I need to get you this. I got to be smart. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
what kind of friendship or how long we known each other. Love you to death, but sign this paper.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, I'm protecting my brand and my business. And I'm sure you will want to do the same. I don't want nobody
Exactly.
to be able to feel like they can just take it right up under my foot. And I don't have anything on paperwork or contract or anything that says I have any type of ownership to it. No, ma'am. No, sir. I had to get smart. It was like, be what it is. Anybody else that wants to partner and be in part with me and all this, sign this piece of paper. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I had to get smart. And chat GPT, thank you.
For real.
Teach me how
That
to
was
write this,
mm-hmm.
type this up and do this. Boom. Push this, sign this, DocuSend. Thank you. Signed, sealed, and delivered. You have a great day.
Exactly.
So just stepping up, bossing up, and getting more mature with how you do business as well, because it's a learning curve also.
Mm-hmm.
Continue not to learn from it, and it's growing pains, yes. And I've been through a lot of things personally, but I was like, no. Even when I felt myself wanting to give up, I was like, I cannot give up on my goals, because this is what I truly want, and it's going to benefit me and my family and things like that. So I got to do this thing, and if it's got to be solo, I will do that. I'm perfectly fine doing that, but
And it's gonna be
it's
it's
gonna
gonna
be. Mhm.
now I was just gonna say I was gonna piggyback off of, it's gonna be days constant where you gonna want to give up.
Mhm.
I've had one today. Remember, Maggie, I said I had to just let me take a breather. Once again, when you on such a move, you on the courts, tag me out, coach. Sit back, reflect, collect your energy. Because if you don't, you're gonna always it's never gonna be a point, no matter how positive you've gotten. And I've completely eradicated my life from negative energies, but still there's a balance. You're always going to come to a point where you do get tired and you want to quit. So you got to know when to say no to phone calls, to say I need to find my inner peace. Because once you take that 5, 10 minutes, 30 minutes to recharge, you
Yes.
will boost back up to say, I just need to get back out there. So expect that you will. It's natural, no matter what it is that you're doing, running a business or not. Accept the fact that you will have to fall down, because you were only
Burn
human.
out. Gonna
Take
burn
that
out.
fall and
Mhm.
then come back up afterwards.
Absolutely. And if you gotta basically, um, social media, people that's heavy in this social media and everything, you just got to connect to the outside world. You need to shut all that down.
Mm-hmm. Take a
Whoever
break.
kind of reach out to you and like, look, I love you. I'm good. I just need to get my inner peace, my piece together. I have to get my mindset together. Take that weekend off. Shut it all the way down. Even if you just take a day, like you do Mondays, you don't do any type of work. That's your time to reflect and refresh and renew. If we don't put that time into ourselves to get that back, and we're just going and going and going and going and going, it's just gonna be to the point where it's like it's gonna be a different effect where it's like you snap,
Mm-hmm.
and so your mind is a very wonderful thing to have. You don't want to lose that, so shut it off, turn it up. It'll be back there when you come back to it. It's not going anywhere. The world continues to go on, sweetheart, but if your health is wealth. If you ain't together physically, even with what you put in your body and everything, we can go into that another topic, but we're getting ready to close this on out. But we're going to teach you guys what this show is going to be about is not only we're going to talk about your mental, we're going to talk about what you eat, how you heal, how, there's a lot of things that you're going to learn from these shows that's going to put you in a better mindset to go ahead and tackle this world each and every day. So I hope you got something from this episode. It's going to get deeper and deeper. This was just about energy today.
Oh, yes.
But we getting ready to like really get into your souls, people. So y'all, please continue to subscribe to the channel. If you didn't realize we're back, we're back.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. If you want to be a guest, hit me up, MaggieTProductions@gmail.com. You can donate to the channel at Maggie T Productions, Cash App. All proceeds will always go to a good cause where we give back. We always give back, and we always got to bring people together. I always like to do like events and treat my people and say thank you and everything, giveaways, what have you. But thank you guys again. And Mr. Cosmic, tell them once again, for those that didn't catch you at the beginning, let them know who you are and how to find you and everything else.
Absolutely. And once again, thank you for having me on this show tonight. You filled my piggy bank up.
Yes.
And I appreciate that. So for those of you who didn't catch me in the beginning, again, my name is Cosmic for short, but my real name is Aaron Arthur Rose. And if you my channel, I am on YouTube, is Cosmic Mindset. That's my YouTube channel where I talk about energy and all these other different things. I am a life coach, a spiritual advisor, a relationship counselor, basically everything Maggie T is. Just think of me as a male version, because I know sometimes we do need to have different perspectives. But I also have a website called cosmicmindset.com, where you can look deeper into the things that I'm doing. So we appreciate every single one of you. Once again, you're going to see me and Maggie tag teaming, giving you all the information, because health is wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Health is wealth, and we're going to make sure that you all learn how to stay healthy so your wealth can go up. When you're healthy, your wealth will go up, and we're excited to grow, learn, laugh, and it's so much stuff to come. Maggie and I got so many gift things in the bags, y'all just don't even know
Yes.
about it. So
This is
please
just
stay tuned.
the intro to this. This is not even how we really get into it. It's like
Yeah,
it can
this
get
is the
really,
soft
really
start.
deep. This is the soft one that you're just like, okay, oh, I'm getting to know them, but oh yeah, y'all gonna be like, hey,
Yeah,
let me get
yeah.
my notebook. I ain't finna miss none of this. Get ready. Get ready.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I'll say this last thing, because it just came back to mind. You said about getting off social media. The reason I've been able to get my stuff together is because I've been off of social media for about, I think, 2 months now, and it feels really good. Because being on it, you may not think nothing is happening to you, but you are in a portal siphoning your energy. Me getting off of it, I got my website done, I got my LCC done, I got my projects done. I started to find peace within myself. So I would say at least deep come off of it for a month, just to see how it is. And when I say come off of it, uninstall it. Don't just log out and keep the app. That's like saying I'm gonna give up drinking, but I'm gonna keep going to the bar. You
Yeah.
don't do that. Uninstall it, go through the shakes for a little bit,
Yeah,
but you will find how peaceful it is and you will get stuff done. Health is wealth. People can wait on you.
absolutely. Because guess what? After you don't did all the that, because one thing you got to sit down in your thoughts and really just you don't have anything that's distracting you because social media, that's all it is. It's a
Yes.
distraction. Before you know it, you don't spend 30 minutes on watching this stupid video that don't popped up. Then it's a rabbit hole. Oh, that video is funny. Oh no,
Mm-hmm.
that video is funny. Oh, what's going on with this? Oh, look at all this drama on this social media. Oh, let me read the comments on this one. Next thing you know, you're so invested in that situation and time just don't pass you by. Guess what? You don't miss all the opportunities to better yourself and improve yourself and work on what really needs to be get done. And it's like, dang, I gotta work on this tomorrow because I ain't had time because I don't got stuck in the drama that goes with social media.
Yes, invest in yourself. That time that 3 hours that you spent just scrolling could have literally been 3 hours of you doing what's needed to be done. So if you are not taking time to get off of, trust us. Just take a month off and you will see the life that you are really well deserved into. While you off that month, you're gonna be kicking it with us. This should be your social media right here
There you
because we
go.
filling
Yeah,
you up.
tune in to us now. Hey, we're gonna
Hmm.
help you improve, and you're gonna hear some good gems and things like that. That's why I'm excited about this partnership here because it just it's he's my energy, I'm his energy. We feed off of each other, but that's the type of people you need in your life. So, you know, get rid of all those people that are just no good for you, but you just been holding on for whatever the case may be. Why? It's not doing you any type of service or anything. If these people are not there in your corner, uplifting you and making you better, they don't need to be in your life.
No,
They really don't. So
cut that cord.
cut that cord, people. It's they can figure it out on their own. They are adults. They know how to pay their bills. They know how to go to the bathroom on themselves, feed themselves, and all that kind of stuff. They know how to figure it out. Relationship wise, whatever you got going on, ma'am, you can figure this out.
Exactly. And if y'all wondering why you should stay tuned, we're going to teach you how to cut the cords properly to make it easy. We're going to teach you everything that you're wondering or saying that you cannot do. Maggie and I have professional advice, and we've done this so many different times on how you can do that. That's why I'm excited to be partnering with her because all the gems that I was dropping on TikTok, they got enough of me. They don't need Cosmic no more. It's time for me to reach out to different people. So you all are going to get the juiciness of what we've taught everyone else. So stay tuned.
Oh yes, stay tuned. On that note, we went a little longer than I expected, but sometimes when good conversation happens, you cannot put a lid on it. Sorry. So come back and watch this. Lead us some feedback. Follow his website.
Please.
I'm going to make sure his things are in the description so you can also follow him. This is how we do it. So if you want to get some information from him and see what he got going on, go be nosy. That's what I say. Go be nosy.
Put your
Follow
nose
the
all up in
trail.
it.
Figure out what's going on with Mr. Cosmic. Why is that name is Cosmic? And just go see what he got going on his YouTube channel as well. On that note, this your girl, Miss Maggie T with the Kandid Room. I hope you guys enjoyed that. It's gonna get juicy. It's gonna get adult. So this is the after, the nighttime. So put the kiddies away. This might not be that conversation for you on some of these episodes, but we'll let you know right before if it's going to be one of those topics. I think the next one, I believe, is I want to say I think we got a good one coming up. We'll let y'all know
Yeah.
what it's about soon. But the
Yes.
next time, this is Miss Maggie T once again with Kandid Room, and I
All
thank
right.
you again. Good
Appreciate
night.
y'all. Have a wonderful
Oh, we
night.
got a comment too. Let's see what this comment says. Yes, indeed,
Indeed.
Christy. Thank you, girl. I'm hoping you
Thank you
got
for
caught a
being
little
here.
bit of it. Thank you for being here. That's one of my ladybirds of AFN ladies. We actually will be airing tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on Atlanta Falcons Nation LLC at 8 p.m. So y'all check that out. That's my other side of my coin. I'm a sports lady and I talk about it, and that's one of my ladies there. So if you didn't catch it from the beginning, rewind this back up and get some of these good information that we gave you today. And we out though. Good night, Christy. Good night.
Peace
Thank
out,
you,
y'all.
Aisha, again, and you have a great one.
Love you.
Love you. Peace.